Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Chat to Review. I'm your host Alex.
And I'm Steph.
Today we are drowning our sorrows about this quarantine with some truly hard seltzers. We're going to be talking about how we are dealing with the quarantine and also answer some random questions to keep it lighthearted.
Alright, well let's get started.
Alright, so we are going to break from the quarantine talk for just a little bit to talk about these new truly lemonade hard seltzer. I saw them come out recently. I feel like nobody made a big deal about them, but as somebody who likes a good hard seltzer, I feel like it deserves a little spotlight.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to use today to get through this quarantine talk that I feel like everybody is having now, and I'm a little over it, but
yes, we felt like we couldn't talk about anything else at this point.
Exactly.
It's just all anybody can think about. So please drink responsibly.
Yes.
Only if you're 21 and up, which we are. But we're gonna taste test these.
Exactly. So there are 4 different flavors that came in the package that I found at Target. I think these are everywhere. I saw them at Target, Kroger, Tom Thumb, pretty much everywhere that you can buy hard seltzer. Now, I feel like I'm a little bit partial to Truly. I don't know. I know that you've had White Claws in the past.
Yes.
What do you think? Like, do you think there's a difference, like, or do you not care?
I actually prefer like these types of drinks over like the really fruity, sugary like ones. I don't know, I just feel like you're not drinking so many calories.
Yeah.
The White Claws are really good, but they do have like that very soda water taste. You know what I mean? Like you're not tasting anything else other than soda water.
I agree.
So,
okay, cool. So I wanted to kind of talk about the 4 flavors. So you can say what your 2 over there.
yes, I have strawberry lemonade and just original lemonade.
And I have black cherry lemonade and mango lemonade.
Ooh.
So right off the bat, I'm really pumped for the mango. But which one do you want to dive in first? You want to start with the original?
Yeah, we can start with the original.
Okay, let's do that and see how it goes. We love a good ASMR.
Ooh.
And we are keeping our distance. Don't worry, we have different cups, okay?
Yes, if it was another time, we would just be drinking out of the cans, but here we are.
But cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
I like.
Yeah, original is good.
Yeah.
A lemony flavor, but it's not too overpowering.
Yes.
Now, like, for me personally, when I go to a bar or something, I like to order a vodka lemonade or a vodka Sprite. Just kind of similar.
It's really good. It would even be good with like, this is gonna be extra, but like smashed strawberries or like something to kind of put in there with like a texture. That would be super good.
Like, I was gonna say a mocktail, but it's not a mocktail because it's alcoholic.
Yeah. So just a regular cocktail.
Okay, I'm gonna open this black cherry lemonade and let's give this a go. This one has a little bit more color. I'll take it back from you. Interesting.
It does have a little bit of a color.
Ooh, it smells a little bit more fruity.
Wow. I do not like black cherry anything, but that's really good. It's not in your face black cherry. Like it's not that dark, like syrupy black cherry.
It almost doesn't taste like black cherry to me. I guess it kind of does.
It's like the movie theater black cherry, but like very, very, very faint.
The movie theater black cherry.
like the
Slurpee? Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
That's the only black cherry anything I've ever tasted.
Okay. Let's dip into strawberry lemonade.
Yes. Apparently we're doing shots of this around here.
That's what you have to do to get there. I mean, come on. Whoa. I'm already getting a little milkshake.
Crazy. Cheers.
Smells like strawberry lemonade.
Again, very, very subtle, but very good.
I think that's what I like about the Trulies, is that it is subtle. Now, sometimes I do want like a drink full of flavor, but these are all 100 calories, and it's a lot. I mean, I would say that's a lot of drink for me.
Yeah. I like these because the difference between the White Claw is going to be that there's none of that lemon flavor. And this one, it's kind of the same as a White Claw, as in like the soda water taste, but there's that lemon flavor that kind of like balances everything out. I like it.
These remind me of a Mike's Hard Lemonade, except not so sugary sweet. Because I think when I was younger, I liked Mike's Hard Lemonades a lot. But then as I've gotten older and older, like, I can't drink super sweet wine. I can't drink those wine coolers.
Yes.
So it's become harder and harder for me to drink a Mike's.
I used to be a really big fan of like frozen margaritas, and you can pop it. And now it's just like, I cannot, it's too sweet.
Ooh, okay, we're dipping into mango lemonade now. Ooh, I can definitely smell the mango.
Yeah, but it's really good.
This one's intense.
It smells fresh though.
I got a weird flavor.
It smells like good mango, but tastes kind of like
bad mango.
Bad mango for sure. It's almost had like a hint of armpit, but I didn't want to say it.
Alright, I'm gonna chug it just to get over it.
That's the spirit.
Don't make me spit it out.
Spit take. Oh my gosh, I can't even.
It tastes like that golden ginger drink.
I think that you thought that this one was going to be your favorite. You tend to like...
I even saved it for last because I thought it was going to be my favorite. And that was really disappointing.
Maybe it wouldn't be bad if you did a little like mixy mix with the strawberry and the mango. Mixologist too. Okay. Nope. It's gonna go out your nose.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I hate when that happens to me.
I'm sorry.
Like literally, if I have to laugh a lot and I have something in my mouth, it stays in my mouth for like minutes.
Because you can't like get it to swallow. Don't do that. Don't mix because it doesn't make the mango any better. I would just say like leave the mangoes for your like visitors and drink the rest.
Give it to your enemies.
Yes.
I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm trying to think which one is my favorite. Probably strawberry. Strawberry or black cherry.
I did like the regular one too.
Yeah, the regular one is really good.
Like I said, with some smushed fruit.
Let's see, they're 12 ounces and then 5% alcohol and 100 calories. So if you're looking to partake in an alcoholic event, then you'll want a good Truly lemonade.
Ooh.
I think it's a good option.
Not sponsored, unfortunately.
It's okay. We got our tipsiness going on, and
These
I
are
think
good.
They are really good. I think now it's time to start talking about this whole coronavirus, COVID-19, quarantine time.
Yes.
And just gauge how we're doing so far. So, we are filming this on March 18th. And for me personally, I am 3 days into working from home. We'll get into that a little bit later, but how are you handling all of this?
I feel like everything has just happened so fast, and whenever it first started, I guess we can kind of discuss this together, but whenever it first started, I thought, oh, you know, it's a little bit more than a flu. Everybody's just gonna like keep doing what they're doing and we're gonna figure it out. Like, I mean, I got a Friday the 13th tattoo. I wouldn't do that today, for example, but on Friday the 13th I was like fine with being crammed in a little space with a bunch of people, and now it's just like not acceptable to do so. But I am still working. I work for like a, you know, storefront kind of business to where there's like business coming in and out. So we're still open. We're taking extra precautions, obviously, as everybody has gotten those emails, but
it's really crazy. I mean, my initial thoughts on, because I follow the news pretty heavily. Like, I look at the news every single day on my daily routine at work. Like, that's one of the things I do is I'll start my computer, check my emails, look at the news, eat my breakfast, and that yada yada yada. So I tend to follow the news a lot, and I feel like toward the beginning of this whole thing, because in the US it really didn't kick off until March. Like, I would say the beginning of March is when we first really had real conversations about what this meant for our country. And I just think it's crazy, like, how quickly it has escalated to this point where we are now practicing social distancing, which I think is a good thing, and the whole point is to, you know, lessen the curve or flatten the curve is what they're saying right now, and to mitigate the risk for other groups. So for example, like, I personally said, you know, our age group is likely not going to be highly affected by coronavirus. However, that doesn't mean that we're not also transmitters of coronavirus. And so the whole point is to flatten the curve for people that do get affected and ultimately may die because of coronavirus. And the people that are the most at risk are people that have immunodeficiencies and or the elderly. So it's really, I think one thing that it bugs me the most is, like, we're practicing social distancing and some people aren't taking it seriously, which you should definitely take it seriously. This is a serious issue. You never know who you're around and who they are around, and that's the problem, is because that barista that may serve you may also go home to parents or grandparents that are elderly and may be affected by this more. So I think just being aware, and yes, follow it. While it may seem weird or odd and you want to be social and go out to your favorite bars or restaurants, now is not the great time.
Yes, I definitely agree. I was going to say, like, what is your stance on social distancing? Oh my gosh, that's like a little tongue twister. But, like, what exactly does that mean for you?
Yeah, so with social distancing, at first I was kind of under the impression that at work we weren't going to be working from home. I kind of just figured that the people who were parents and had children at school, which the schools then had an extra week of spring break or went to online school, I figured that all of those people, our work would make accommodations, they would be working from home, but the rest of us would be in the office. That was the impression that I had. And then literally, so that was the impression I had on last Friday. Monday, I'm driving into work, just a regular old day, and literally as I'm about to pull into the parking garage to park, my boss texts me and says, never mind, don't come in, turn around, go home, and you're working from home until further notice. And so that was a real eye-opener. I was not expecting that, but I think just seeing how many people, how many companies are starting to take this whole social distancing thing seriously, seeing our government talk about it in the length that they are, it's become more real to me. And I think it's not so much what I think about social distancing, it's about helping out others in need at this point. So yes, I may not be greatly affected by coronavirus. I could possibly get it, but the chances are that I will likely survive. However, I may transmit coronavirus to somebody else who is more at risk than I am, And I think the act of going out and being selfish and trying to party or go to bars or restaurants and then being in contact with a lot of other people just is not safe right now. And I would hate to be somebody that transmits the disease or this virus to somebody else who then is greatly affected by it. So I think social distancing right now, some people are saying it's an overreaction, but if we're doing our job to flatten the curve of how many people are affected, I think that it's a good thing.
I agree with everything that you said. I think that anything that's not necessary just shouldn't be done. Like, you don't have to go out to the clubs. You don't have to go see a movie necessarily. You don't have to like do any of that unnecessary entertainment. Like, I get going to the store if you need to get groceries. Like, I did that today.
I did too.
I felt uncomfortable doing it, honestly, because I would prefer to just like not, but unfortunately I did have to go because I was not able to get my stuff while the shelves were empty the first time.
How was your experience today as opposed to like a couple days ago?
So the first time that I went to the store was Sunday. We're filming this on a Wednesday. So I went on Sunday, and I mean, the whole meat, like fresh meat section was empty. Almost all the produce was gone, which I was really surprised because you would think like if you're trying to hoard food, it would be frozen, but whatever. Like there was no water, there was no milk, and that was at Target. So today I was able to get like 2 packs of water. The meat section was still empty, but I was still able to get like frozen meat. And there was no toilet paper, which is really unfortunate because I literally have 2 rolls. And so I'm just kind of like waiting to see if somebody's going to have it. But I mean, it was slower than the first time I went, and there was more stuff, but there was still more stuff that was out.
I'm sorry, but the whole toilet paper thing like literally makes me insane because I used to work for a wholesale company. I will not name. But it's a very popular wholesale store that everybody is going to right now, and my boyfriend works there as well. And the amount of people that are lining up to get toilet paper, paper towels, and water is simply ridiculous. Like, it makes me crazy. This whole herd mentality of we're gonna go in and we're gonna get these items, like literally nobody said to stock up on all these items. And so these stores and our supply chain cannot handle that demand. Like, stores are stocked for basically normal shopping. They're not stocked for apocalyptic shopping, which is what's going on right now. And I mean, if you don't need to stock up, if you do have a reasonable amount of all of your normal supplies, then you're fine. But what happened is all of this panic ensued, and I don't know whether it was social media or what, but something happened and people panicked, and the stores have been ridiculous, and I just think it's crazy that all the shelves are empty.
I would have just never, like in my wild, if say the president of the United States made a thing today that was like, in 24 hours we're going into quarantine, the last thing on my mind / shopping list would be toilet paper. Like, that's where I'm just like not understanding, like, you don't have to have toilet paper to survive. I get like, oh, we're out, like let's go buy a pack while we're gonna be in quarantine for what, like 2 weeks or for more, but like you can,
but you still can go to the grocery store. Our supply chains are very strong. You'll still be fine. They'll still be working. It's not like we're in a zombie apocalypse. I get that people are scared, but at the same time, there should be some kind of like, I don't know, like something that kicks in and tells you we'll be okay without 2 packs of toilet paper.
But toilet paper, even if like it all just ran out, is just like not a necessity.
I'll jump in the shower if I have to.
Right. Or I mean, like there's other options other than just toilet paper. So anyways, stop buying all the toilet paper, Karen. Okay? I need some.
You know what I thought was really funny is I've been looking on Reddit, and of course everybody on social media. One, I think social media is good at this time, but there's also some real negatives to social media at this time. Like, I was in a really bad mood over the weekend, and I think it was just because I was so tired of people inserting their opinions about coronavirus. Like, grab your groceries, get inside, and freaking turn on Netflix and watch a movie. Like, stop putting your personal opinions on social media, because it's making me crazy.
I think I'm a little bit confused on why everybody's worked up about having to stay home.
Yeah.
I'm not able to stay home, right, because I'm still like going into work, and I'm like, I would love nothing more. Now, obviously, like, as you know, using like a more humorous side to things, obviously it's a lot more serious. It's not funny to have to stay quarantined.
Yeah.
But like,
it could be worse.
Yeah, why are people, I mean, it's not so bad yet, so why doesn't everybody just kind of stay inside if you can?
Right.
Make that conscious effort to like stay inside and just like do things within the house.
Right.
Just to create that distance and everything. Because if more people are just like still going out, still going whatever, yes, still going out to eat, it's
if we don't do anything about it now, it's going to get 10 times worse. So I think that's the whole point of social distancing. That's why this should be taken seriously. Because something like this hasn't happened. Like, our generation, this will be a defining moment for our generation, truly. And
truly.
Yeah, truly. Which is so crazy to me, but I think this whole idea of social distancing has been so interesting. And I'm surprised, like, I've seen a lot of content creators and YouTubers and stuff that have gone online and said, like, I don't feel comfortable making content right now. And I feel like this is the perfect time where we all need content, where we're all sitting at home with nothing better to do.
Right.
So I don't think that it's a bad thing to talk about. I think it's kind of interesting too to see some of the memes and stuff that have come out of the whole quarantine social distancing thing. Like, I saw one, I think it was a picture on Reddit, and it was something about spent a couple hours with my wife and found out that her favorite color is yellow. Who the F likes yellow? And it made me laugh. But
like, you're spending extra time. Like,
yes.
You're so bored that you're like actually figuring things out about each other.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just an interesting time. It's crazy to me that like we're actually going through this.
Yeah.
But
there's so many thoughts. Like, I mean, I have literally seen it all. I think when it comes to people wondering like what this actually is, or if it is what it said, or if there's all these conspiracy theories and all that. And I think if everybody just tries to like remain calm.
Yes. Wait it out until we have like clear answers, but those clear answers aren't here yet. So we just have to relax, do our social distancing, find a good show on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I feel like it's kind of funny. I saw something on Facebook, I think, from somebody that was like, you know, people with anxiety have been, you know, waiting for this their entire lives. Like, we're always thinking, because I personally do have anxiety, we're always thinking the worst. So whenever it's finally here, I feel like most people with anxiety have been like, oh, I've been so ready for this that it's just like, oh, like, I actually haven't had that much anxiety over this situation, which I was really surprised about. I think I'm just always like a worst case scenario kind of person.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's pretty fine right now. It could be worse.
I mean, has your routine changed much at all?
No. I mean, I try not to like unnecessarily go to Ross or like whatever, Chick-fil-A, or go out if I don't have to, but for the most part, I mean, no. I kind of stick to myself in general.
Yeah.
And my close people. Like,
it's funny because I've just been, so I know that you've taken the Enneagram test. Well, I apparently am an 8, and that means that social distancing isn't that crazy for me. So I don't mind being at home. Yeah, I do need to get out every once in a while and like take a walk or something, or like have some sunlight, but it's not like a huge deal for me to like not be going out to bars or restaurants or all that stuff. Sometimes I'd rather just stay at home and not have to do anything.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I am personally it's like a 50-50. I've never seen this before. I never really heard about it. I'm more of a 2, but I'm like 50-50, 2 and 4.
Okay.
I don't like bragging about being a 2. I think I could be getting those mixed up, but one of them is like being like a super pushover, like always wanting to please everybody.
But I've heard 2s are also like very caring.
Yeah. I just always look at like I'm like
the negative ones.
Wow.
I know. Well, apparently an 8 is very domineering and angry. So
you're like, wow. I don't want to talk about those.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get away from the coronavirus, the plague, all of that topic. I kind of want to just get over it, drink my Truly, and talk about something more lighthearted and fun.
Yes.
So we're just going to ask each other a bunch of questions back and forth and just get to know us a little bit more.
Yes.
That's what this is all about.
Mm-hmm.
So, Steph, I wanted to start by asking, like, in general, when you're sick or you need to pick me up, what are some of your go-to movies?
Oh my goodness. Okay, any day that it's raining or is storming or whatever, I'm down for a Twilight marathon. Y'all will learn that I am like a huge Twilight fan. I mean, I'm not like a huge, like hardcore like Twilight fan.
Twilight.
I just enjoy the Twilight sagas. So I think that that's like my go-to. Like if you're gonna be in bed all day, watching the Twilight sagas. What about you?
Twilight gives me like such nostalgia. Like it really takes me back to like high school days. And I remember I wasn't even like super into Twilight, and I remember my dad saying, we can go to the midnight where Walmart is like selling the DVDs. He's like, we can go at midnight when they're selling it. And we literally went. And I was
just
like, I'm not even
DVD.
that like into Twilight. And the first one compared to the rest of them is not that great. Ooh.
No, yeah, it's definitely like the bottom tier of the options.
I mean, it's funny to watch, like if you're drinking, like watch Twilight, because it's like, I feel like our movie nights are just hilarious because we make commentary throughout the entire thing.
Yes.
Which one day I wish we can do a live stream, because I feel like that would be hilarious. But
we always are like commenting on the movies that we're watching.
Yes. For me, I don't know if you've seen this movie, but I love watching The Princess Bride.
I have never watched that.
It's really good.
What is like the plot
It's a really good storyline. It's basically, so it's like a book. It's like a movie within a book, basically. So it starts with like a grandson or grandfather reading a story to his grandson, and then it's all about like a princess and her like knight in shining armor, basically, and he goes through all these trials to find her and take her away from the evil prince that she's about to marry. It's really good. I can't remember if it came out in the 80s, but it's very popular. Like I'm sure if you saw like pictures and memes about it, you would you would know what I'm talking about. And I don't remember if it's still on Netflix, but it's just a good movie all around.
We'll have to watch that one for sure.
Yeah, it's really good. Other than that, let's see. I like watching a good Disney Channel original.
Yes. I mean, specifically the question that you asked was like on a sick day, like what would you watch? I mean, if we want to really get into like some good movies, some good watches, we've been watching a lot of movies lately.
We have.
10 Things I Hate About You was a 10 out of 10.
Iconic. Like literally, I love 10 Things I Hate About You, and I think it's just because I love Heath Ledger in that. Like, total babe. Yeah. I think that's what she says in the movie, but
yeah.
That movie just touches my heart.
Yeah, I agree.
And it just makes you think like, R.I.P. gone too soon.
Yeah.
So sad.
I watched the whole next day after watching 10 Things I Hate About You, I was like in a YouTube hole about like Heath Ledger and like the Heath Ledger documentary and like what made him go crazy playing the Joker, and then like just interviews, and I don't know why, but 10 Things I Hate About You just like really got me.
Yeah, I love that. I love The Breakfast Club.
Those are some oldies but goodies.
I do like some older movies. I feel like my parents kind of raised me on a lot of 80s movies, so I kind of have a whole list of like older movies that I would like to watch. I also kind of feel I love a good rom-com, but I feel like there haven't been a lot of good ones lately.
For real, like there is nothing like me and Dylan, which is my husband, The other night we're watching She's Out of My League. Which
oh my gosh.
I've seen it like a bajillion times.
I love it.
And we quote it like all the time.
Who wants it? Who wants it?
I'll show it. I'll show it.
Oh yeah.
It's just like one of those iconic movies, but that was one of like the last
like good rom-coms.
Yeah, like just
so true.
I was watching that and I was like, what has come after this?
Literally nothing.
There's
nothing
been, like, no
notable.
rom-coms. No.
Everything, I feel like all of the comedy has just been like watered down. Like nobody makes a good joke anymore. I don't know, or just maybe there aren't a lot of people focusing on rom-coms.
Or they just like try too hard.
Yeah.
Like I really did like, I think it was on Netflix. It was the one with Gina Rodriguez where it was like someone new or someone special or something.
Yes. I can't remember.
Where Lizzo got famous.
Yes. And it had Brittany Snow.
Yes.
I don't remember what that was called.
That was, it brought me back to like the good old rom-coms.
I feel like I tried to watch that, but I was just kind of, it was a little bit over the top for me.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was. But I feel like now, like in common times or whatever, common times, more
the good old days.
Yeah, more common times. The movies are like very like social media driven and whatever, and I'm just not for it. I like want to watch 2000s and before movies all day.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they were like the best. We watched A Cinderella Story the other night, and just seeing like her little flip phone, Chad Michael Murray.
Yes. That movie is one of my favorites.
That's another thing, is like Disney Channel is not the same.
Right. Was that ever on Disney Channel though?
I don't know, but I'm just talking about like she came from Disney Channel type of thing, and I was thinking of like Camp Rock and High School Musical and all those types of movies, and it's just not the same as it used to be. Like I feel like some of the Disney Channel originals were so good.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean, for sure.
Although we watched, this wasn't a Disney Channel original, but we watched Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen a couple weeks ago, and I was appalled to figure out that that movie was not as good as I had imagined.
I remember being like a stan of Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. Like I was obsessed. So whenever we watched it the other night, and it was like I could barely, like we wanted to turn it off, but we were like, do we want to make this commitment of like turning it off right now?
I didn't realize that the storyline made no sense.
Yeah.
Like it literally didn't. First of all, Megan Fox, iconic in that movie.
Always.
But like Lindsay Lohan goes after the guy from Coyote Ugly.
Which she's like, or he's like way over age.
Yes.
She's way under
She's
age.
like 15, he's like 25 or whatever it was. I can't remember. But I just could not believe, like at the end, he shows up with her bottle cap necklace to a teenage party with like 15-year-olds. That's weird.
And then they slow dance.
And then he like, I don't remember if he left, but then she slow dances with the guy. It was just weird. Like they didn't set up the whole boyfriend like part of the story, part of the plot. But then she like is in love with the guy from Sid Arthur. It just doesn't make sense.
Coyote Ugly guy.
Yes, Coyote Ugly guy.
Which was filmed first? Coyote Ugly had to have been filmed first, and he was like a grown adult in that movie.
Yes.
Like full on.
Yes.
Grown. That's just weird. And that was a Disney Channel movie.
Oh, it was? I couldn't remember.
Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
But it wasn't like an original, right? Was it like on Disney Channel? I don't remember.
I don't know. I feel like it was one of those movies that played like, and now your DCOM original. And it was like,
I think lastly, I love to watch a good musical. So I like Phantom of the Opera. They did a pretty good job with that movie, and I have seen the actual musical, and I feel like they did a really good job. Gerard Butler was actually the Phantom, which blew my mind when I found out, because I absolutely loved him in P.S. I Love You, which I love that movie. Another great like
that is like
romance,
an iconic movie as well.
But I swear to God, I bawled my eyes out. Like it's so sad. It's like,
P.S. I Love You?
yes, it's a good movie if you need some like catharsis. Like if you need to like get a good cry in.
Yeah.
Watch P.S. I Love You. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix now.
Yes.
But
I didn't realize how just like dark and sad that movie actually
oh my
was.
gosh, I remember my mom and I went to go see that in the movie theaters, not knowing that he dies. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Yikes.
Not knowing that he dies, and I remember being like pretty young. I don't know. I had to be like at 10 to 12 maybe.
Yeah.
And looking over, and my mom was like tearing up, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?"
I remember that used to be the most traumatic thing ever, is like to be watching an emotional movie and your mom's crying and you're like, oh my god. And you're just like,
well, and I was too young at the time to like fully grasp what was happening. Like you don't really understand like cancer, sickness, death as much as when you start to get older and like realize the value of life. Like now when I watch that movie, I bawl my eyes out.
you're like crying now. You're like,
yeah. Oh god.
yeah, that was just so sad. But the fact that he like, you know, got her all those messages and all that, that was adorable. 10 out of 10.
Seriously. Any others?
There's like so many more movies. Like I feel like we could go on
There
for like
really
days
are.
and days, but I don't know. I mean, comment below your favorite like old, feel good, timeless movie,
Yeah, maybe we haven't seen it.
which is possible but probably not. I love Easy A.
I love oh my gosh, I feel like we should rent that. I feel like we should watch that tonight.
That would be iconic.
Yes.
I love
Down. I remember I got that like a bootleg version of that movie, and I remember being so in love with what's his name, Penn Bagley.
that. Oh,
And I didn't even watch Gossip Girl at that time.
yeah.
I've watched all of Gossip Girl now.
I'm weirdly obsessed with him from You, which I'm not
Yes.
like condoning the murder weird creeper guy, but he is just like a
I feel
hottie.
like they did him dirty in the second season.
Yeah, they made him all scrawny and gross looking.
Yes, they made him look like the Grim Reaper.
Well, I mean, I think that was the point.
I guess so, but they did him kind of dirty because in like Gossip Girl and Easy A, he was a snack.
Like a heartthrob. But a snack in today's time.
I do love Easy A. I'm trying to think of any other like good teenage movies.
Okay, it's not a teenage movie, but
Yeah.
Dylan and I the other night, maybe last night, I don't know, but we watched The Ghost of Girlfriends Past with Matthew McConaughey.
Mhm.
I don't remember, like I didn't remember how good that movie was. It had such
I
a
don't
good
know
story.
that I've watched it like in a long time. It had J-Lo in it, right? Or no?
No, me and you.
That's in J-Lo.
Yeah. It had Matthew McConaughey, Jennifer Garner, I think. She was like the love of his life or whatever. Gretchen from Mean Girls was like the bride in the movie.
Okay.
What was crazy about that movie is, have you ever seen 13 Going on 30?
Yes.
The younger version of Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
She played the younger version of her in that movie too.
What the heck?
And I was like, I am shook right now, and Dylan didn't know what I was talking about, so I didn't get like my moment, but if y'all know what I'm talking about.
The boys always try to get involved in like our they just don't have the knowledge on like romantic comedies and like Disney Channel originals that we do, so it's so easy for us to have that banter that they just don't have.
They're just sitting
They
over
try.
there. Yeah.
It's really cute, but that's it for movies.
Yeah, that was like one question that we really like made last a while, so
Let's move on from movies to fuck. We got the giggles now.
Well, I heard you like, you're like, let's move on. All I could hear was like, Dama! like raspy. Yes.
Okay, I'll change the words. So, okay, I think it's time to transition from movies to TV shows, which I think will be very valuable in this social distancing quarantine time.
Yes.
So, what kind of shows are you watching now? Or what are your like guilty pleasure shows?
Okay, so I feel like I need to say this just to like put it out in the air, fix my Wikipedia page. I'm just kidding. My favorite show of all time is One Tree Hill.
Okay.
It's a like 9-season long dramatic teenage drama queen. But like a drama show, whatever. And I just think it's iconic. I think once a raven, always a raven.
I still haven't watched it.
I know.
And
And that,
I
like,
need to.
I just, like, I don't want to push it on you, but I'm like, it's the best thing to ever happen.
Watch it already.
Yes. But what's, like, your favorite?
So it's weird. I've been going through this phase where I really enjoy like a good teenage drama, but to the point where I like the over-the-top teenage dramas, like
Riverdale.
dramatic. Yes. And I've actually been watching Riverdale, like I've been catching up, and Nick and I have been watching the 3rd season.
Ooh.
He actually told me last night that the show was actually pretty good. He was like, this is actually pretty entertaining.
Wow.
So I was kind of appalled. 'Cause
Appalled.
normally I just put a show on, and for him to be like, oh, okay, I'm fine with this, rather than, all right, I'm done, like, let's change it to something else. I was pretty surprised. So I like Riverdale. However, I feel like it's way over the top. It's so unrealistic. But there's part of me that kind of likes the fact that it's so unrealistic.
Because you kind of get, like, lost in it. Like, you don't want something so realistic.
Like, you know it's not reality, so you're going into, like, a different world where, like, they have things where, like, the police just are completely going off the rails and doing their own thing and, like, keeping people hostage and all this stuff. Like, that's part of the storyline right now.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But then they also have like crazy gangs with all these high schoolers slash with Cole Sprouse leading the gang, which is just so unrealistic. Like, come on.
Spoiler alert.
They really tried to make Cole Sprouse like out to be such a tough guy.
I just can't see it.
It doesn't make sense. Like, you really have to be in the Riverdale world to be like, oh yeah, Cole Sprouse is leading that gang.
Aren't they like the Slytherin gang or something?
They're the serpents.
Oh, Slytherin is Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I was like, I just immediately was like, he's Slytherin.
But I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that I watched all of Gossip Girl recently. So that's another like overly dramatic teenage drama that was completely unrealistic.
I, for some reason, couldn't get into Gossip Girl or Riverdale. I don't know what it is. I don't think that I like committed enough time.
Here's the thing, is as it relates to Gossip Girl, I feel like I started watching it as a joke, and then I just kept watching it, and then at some point I was like, well, I have to see what happens.
Right.
And then by the time I was like halfway into the season, like season 4 or whatever, or halfway into the show, then I just couldn't stop because I needed to see what happened at the very end.
Yeah. That's how I felt about Love is Blind.
Really? I haven't watched it yet.
Love is Blind. I recently watched that because it was on Netflix. And I've been very lately like in the realm of Love Island and Bachelor and whatever. So I was like, I'll watch this too, and it was interesting. But you haven't watched it yet, so we can't quite discuss.
No. But it's kind of, I've watched, my guilty pleasure is like reality TV, like the cringiest reality TV you can find. So I love TLC. So Dr. Pimple Popper, My Big Fat Fabulous Life.
What?
Yeah.
Pimple Popper?
Yeah.
I cannot.
It's like so entertaining. So I love all of those. Unexpected is a really good one. Like, I love teen mom shows just because I think it's so interesting.
Yeah.
And it's not like I hate watch these shows. Like, I'm actually interested and like I want to see what happens next.
Yeah.
So I love a good reality TV show. I love Real Housewives of, I've watched both Orange County and Beverly Hills, Vanderpump Rules. I'm like deep into the reality TV space.
I feel like I used to be. Like, whenever I lived with my parents and they had cable and whatever, mind you, like, I haven't had cable at all since I was 18 and I'm about to turn 23.
Yeah.
So, I have Hulu and Netflix and stuff, but it's kind of hard to, like, go for that. Like, I used to be a huge fan of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Really?
Like, I was, like, all about E! News. Like, that was, like, the channel that I had on at all times. Like, all of those reality shows. But I feel like I haven't, like, gravitated towards that.
See, I was never into Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But
not anymore.
On Hulu, they have, like, all of the Real Housewives, all that stuff. So I got really into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And that's what got me into, like, some of the other reality TV shows, but man, it like sucks you in.
Yeah, it really does. I love HGTV.
I do too, like tiny home stuff. I love that. I love to watch it, but I feel like I would never live in it.
Yeah, for sure. I like the like love it or list it. Like they try to redo the house that you already have, and then somebody's trying to sell it.
I always see that when I'm getting my nails done.
Yes, or like in a dentist office.
Yes.
But that's the only time I ever watch it. I don't like voluntarily watch that stuff at home.
Yeah, I also like Discovery Channel.
Mm-hmm.
So Gold Rush or I can't remember the other one, or History Channel. Nick and I watch Forged in Fire.
Wow.
That's where they make knives and stuff.
Yes,
but on Discovery Channel, they also have Building Off the Grid. It's kind of interesting. It's where like a couple or a family, they'll build their entire house and it's completely off the grid. Like they'll find someplace in Colorado or Hawaii or wherever they want to build it. And it's kind of interesting. Like they go through the whole process.
Yeah, Dylan's actually been watching a lot of that on YouTube. I don't know.
Really?
Like, that's a coincidence, but I've been kind of interested in it as well. Usually I'm like not into like the whole like building and watching people like scavenge off the land type thing. Like Naked and Afraid, I'm just like not about it. It like freaks me out. But I am into watching people like build their own house and stuff. It's super cool.
I almost need a new show, and I think that's kind of why I started watching Riverdale again, because toward the end of last year I watched the first 2 seasons of Riverdale and I was pretty into it. And then it took me until now to like finally start the 3rd season that's on Netflix. But I feel like I need a new show because I blew through Gossip Girl, and it almost makes me want to rewatch a show I've already watched. Like I kind of want to go back and watch Friday Night Lights.
Have you watched Dexter?
Yes.
Dexter is one of those shows
I haven't watched it to the end though, because I get tired. Like after the season with
this is gonna be a spoiler, I already know it.
After the season with I can't remember his name in the show, but the guy, I don't even want to say it because it is a spoiler.
The Trinity Killer?
Yes.
That season, the season finale specifically of what happened.
Yes.
As soon as that like happens and whatever after, it turns to absolute like
crap.
Like just terrible.
I mean, as soon as I think the season after is with Tom Hanks' son, and that's when he's like the minister.
That is such a weird season.
It was very odd, and it just kind of lost me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. These Trulies are getting to me. The seasons prior to that, like up to the Trinity Killer, were amazing. Like I remember sitting at home with my parents just like blowing through episodes. And then it just took a turn, and then we just stopped watching it.
Well, there's a big plot twist in the Trinity, or not the Trinity, the Tom Hanks' son season. I think it's like season 7 or something. There's a big reveal, and it's to Deb. I'm just gonna give it to you. It's to Deb, and then that happens, and then it's kind of interesting to see what happens after. I had to finish it because I was like a huge fan, and even if I hated it, which I did, I still wanted to finish it. So
I mean, I've read all the spoilers, but I don't know. I just can't. I can't get back into it. I've also watched Supernatural like several times, but now there's like 15 seasons, and it's just way too much. And I've tried over and over again. Like they die, they come back to life. It's all this stuff, and it's like it should have ended a long time ago, but it hasn't. It's one of those.
I've always tied together Supernatural and Doctor Who just because I feel like those are like the same fan base.
Yeah.
And I've tried to watch Doctor Who, and that was like an absolute no for me.
I've never tried to watch Doctor Who. I know it has like a cult following, and I've just never tried. But
it's very weird. I don't know. No offense.
We recently have been watching American Horror Story, but the latest season was super dark, and I kind of want something that's like lighthearted or a little bit more like teenage drama. So
American Horror Story isn't going to give that to you, unfortunately, because I feel like they're going down a dark route.
They are going super dark, like super dark, super demonic, satanic, like whatever you want to call it. But the most recent season that just came out on Hulu was so dark.
It was so entertaining though.
It was very entertaining. I did like the storyline.
Yeah, I'm one of those people, I'm not about the whole satanic stuff. I'm not here for that. It makes me uncomfortable. I'll skip it if I need to. But the storyline was incredible.
Yeah.
And the Apocalypse one, the storyline was good. I was obsessed with Coven, so I was really excited to get like a Coven 2.0.
Yeah.
But my favorite season of American Horror Story is definitely Murder House.
Oh yeah, by
100%.
far. Oh, 100%.
We love Love Island over
Yes.
here.
I am like a Love Island stan. I'm about to start going in the archives and watching some previous seasons just because I got hooked and now there's no Love Island anymore.
Yeah. Other than season 6, which is the one that just wrapped up, I finished season 3. And that was a really entertaining season, but I haven't got hooked to another season yet. So, oh my gosh, my throat, y'all.
It's really hard. It's hard to start like a new show entirely, and sometimes even hard to start a new season, just because like, especially with something like Love Island, you get hooked to the people.
Yeah.
And so then to start completely new and fresh, it's really hard.
I think the beginning of Love Island is very hard to attach to. Like, it's once the relationships really start forming.
Like at the beginning of Love Island, it takes so long to like finally get into the actual meat of the show.
Yeah. I like the initial like meetup part, like at the beginning, like where they pair up.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of want to skip like 5 episodes just to see who like is together and then like watch from there.
Yeah.
It's like 50 episodes.
It really is. It's a lot.
So if y'all are in quarantine and need a feel-good show to watch, I would say
Check
Love
out
Island.
Love Island.
UK. Australia, I can't.
I can't either.
I just can't. UK specifically.
So I remember going through a Pretty Little Liars phase a little while ago, but I never finished it. That was another one where I kind of just got over the storyline because I feel like they dragged it out for so long.
I watched Pretty Little Liars whenever I was like in middle school. Like I want to say like 7th, 8th grade. I was like really about it.
Yeah.
I watched it up until they revealed A for like the 2nd time. And I was like, you know what? At this point, everybody's going to be A. And then like they started saying that A were people that were like not even a part of the show the whole time. And so I was like,
you're like, that's not even realistic.
But it would be more entertaining if they revealed like Aria was A or something, you know, like we don't care about random people being A.
Did you ever watch Secret Life of an American Teenager?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I like just a couple years ago like was watching that show.
What?
Yeah, I like was really into it. And I remember because I'm the type of person that likes to watch TV, like I like to have TV going like while I'm going to bed. And I remember when Nick and I were first dating, I was like watching that show.
What?
I was like super into it.
That show used to be on E! Like the E! channel.
Yeah.
Like I think that's where it came
I think
from.
it was on ABC.
Oh.
Like the ABC, what was it? Freeform.
Before
Freeform.
Like ABC Family.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like the time where I was watching E! like regularly. So like middle school or like beginning of high school.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And they kept having the Secret Life of American Teenager or whatever going on as well with ABC Family. And I was
Shailene Woodley in that. She's like everything.
That's such a weird show.
It is. It's very weird.
I have not watched it since, so I can't really speak on that, but it was entertaining at the time, but I bet like if we were to watch that now, we'd be like,
I'm telling you, I have a weird thing for like teenage shows. I guess I just like the drama.
Yeah. I like
It's a
drama
problem.
too, but I'm more of like I don't know, I would prefer to watch like Dexter over like Real Housewives of New Jersey or whatever.
I think I just like shows that I can turn on and like they can play in the background. I don't really have to pay attention. But I feel like now I'm looking for the type of show where I want to get like fully invested and I have to pay attention.
Yes.
But I'm just trying to figure out what show that will be for me.
I feel like I was going down a hole. Like I was spiraling. I was about like all these shows. I was really into Love Island, like the most recent season. I was watching Love is Blind. I was watching Cheer. I was watching, there was another episode, like something on Hulu, Bachelor.
Yep.
There was just so much going on, so much that I was watching, and now I feel like I've like come to like a screeching halt.
Yes. Me too.
I'm trying to find something currently.
I can't even remember what I'm watching right now.
I've started Prodigy, which is something on Hulu, which is like he's a son of a serial killer and he like solves crimes.
Yeah.
I'm all about that, but for some reason I just haven't got hooked yet.
I think I do want kind of like some sort of crime show or maybe like a law show. Maybe not Law and Order, but I also went through a phase where I watched House. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Yeah.
But I was really into that and I liked the characters. I don't know, I just need to do some more research. I've been watching some true crime shows.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I went through this whole Scott Peterson documentary, which was really good. It was on Hulu. I'll have to show you.
Yeah, I want to watch
But
that.
I've been binging on some true crime shows, and I don't know. I go through weird phases. Like phases where I want to get really involved in a true crime show and like know all about the case, but then I get upset when I feel like it's a wrongful conviction and then people are just like wasting their lives in prison when they're not getting an appeal. And so I get conflicted, and then I need to watch some kind of show that's more lighthearted.
Yeah. For some reason, I can't get hooked to like true crime TV or like documentaries or like the channels that like always are talking about true crime.
Yeah.
I can't watch those for some reason. It makes me really uncomfortable. But I do like YouTubers that do true crime, specifically like Kendall Ray on YouTube. I have watched every true crime.
Have you
she's
ever watched
done.
like Bella Fiore?
No, because she came out and like her thumbnails threw me off. I don't know
Really?
why. I think it was because her face was so like, what happened to blah 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 that I just like
she's always
couldn't.
like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never did.
Hers are kind of interesting, but I listen to a ton of true crime podcasts too. So it's weird. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts now. So like in the car, I used to listen to a lot of music, and now I just like listen to podcasts all the time. So I don't know. There's so much content being thrown at us at all times.
Yeah. I mean, whether you're watching a movie, a TV show, a podcast, a YouTube, I mean, I feel like this podcast could be forever long if we talked about like every single thing that we watched.
Yeah, exactly.
But as far as true crime podcast, Crime Junkie.
Crime Junkie.
We're definitely a fan of that one.
I hope they come back to Dallas because I definitely want to go, but their shows sell out so fast.
Yeah, that would be iconic.
So the last segment of today's podcast, we are going to do a this or that type of challenge, I guess. I don't know if it's really a challenge, but it's essentially we have to choose between two options, this or that. Rapid fire. We're going to do 5 each and go back and forth. And should I start?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. Let me pull up a good this or that. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Day or night?
Day.
Okay. Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Sparkling or still? I think this has to do with water.
Still.
Hotel or Airbnb?
It depends, but let's just say Airbnb for the fun of it.
Veggies or fruit?
Both. I like both.
This or that?
Fruit.
Okay. That's your 5 so far.
Okay. I'll say mine. Or
Okay.
for you. Wine or spirits?
Spirits.
Rich or famous?
Rich.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Meat or murder? I don't know what that
means.
I had to say it out loud, but I don't know what that means exactly.
Meat.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke, but it has to be a Coke Zero.
Ooh.
That's controversial.
Did the meat one count?
Yes.
Meat or murder?
So
what does that even
honest.
mean? But was that 5?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, on to you.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Okay. Gold or silver?
Gold.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Cake or ice cream?
Ooh, both. Ice cream.
Same. I'm a hard ice cream.
Yeah, we're like big ice cream fans over here. Movies or music?
Movies.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
City or country?
Country?
Like, would you rather live in the city or the country?
Oh! That's a hard one, actually. I used to think I wanted to live in the city. But, like, living in an actual city, like living in Dallas would not be... Can I say the suburbs?
Yeah, like in between.
Yeah, and in between in that one.
Let's see. See the future or change the past?
Ooh, see the future. I love a good spoiler.
I don't know if I've already said 5, but I'll leave this being my 5.
Okay.
Going out or staying in?
Staying. Well, I don't know. I feel like I used to be staying in, but now I like going out.
Considering the quarantine, we'll say staying in.
Staying in. I love a good karaoke night.
Yes.
That is like my favorite thing to do.
You're like, I'm a karaoke stan.
Karaoke queen.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple more for you. Movies or TV shows?
TV shows.
Moon or sun?
Moon.
Pearl or diamond?
Diamond.
Spring or autumn?
Autumn.
Heels or boots?
Boots. Let's see. Subway or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
Watch the movie or read the book?
Ooh. Read the book.
Tattoo or piercing?
Ooh. Funny story. I'm afraid of needles, so I have 9 piercings in my ears, but they make me pass out, so...
So you're scared of both?
I don't know, I don't think I'm as scared of tattoos. I don't have any, but that fear is not the same like when I think of tattoos as opposed to when I think of piercings.
So
does that make any sense?
Yeah, so take the question as like, if right now you had to choose whether to get a piercing or a tattoo, what would you do?
Tattoo.
Okay. Appetizer or dessert?
Dessert.
Ooh.
I love a good creme brulee.
I feel like I lose track of how many I do every time. But winning is everything, or it's taking part that matters?
Winning is everything.
Yes, queen. We love an 8.
Yes, I was gonna say we should just like take an Enneagram test. Okay, I have a couple more for you. All right. Vinyl or Spotify?
Vinyl.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Formal or casual?
Casual.
Beach or pool?
Beach.
Early bird or night owl?
Neither anymore. But I'll say night owl.
Okay.
Okay, last 5. Thoughts or emotions?
Thoughts.
Slow or fast?
What does that mean? Fast?
Optimistic or pessimistic?
Ooh. I would say I'm more optimistic.
Ooh. Realist or idealist?
Realist.
Head or heart?
Ooh. Head. For the most part.
Alright.
I don't know. Those were kind of hard.
Yeah.
How would you answer? You can tell us in the
Yes.
comments.
Go through every single one and tell us which
Yeah,
would you rather.
exactly.
Just kind of getting to know us a little bit more, just some random rapid fire this or that.
If there are any more comments, if there are any more topics that you want us to cover, feel free to let us know. We're always looking for more topics for future episodes.
For sure.
So that's it for today's episode, guys. Make sure to follow Chacha Review on Instagram to stay up to date with the latest news, chews, and reviews.
Listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, all that good stuff. Don't forget to like, share us with all your friends.
We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Bye!